Bruddc and Giddy got a show to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. Bruddc and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Bruddc and Kitty show. From trending news to the tales untold. Spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows. With a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard? Bruddc and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Bruddc and Kitty show. Truth or dare, we're taking the leap. Stories that'll make you laugh or weep. Tune in now, let the fun explode. This is your stop, it's the Bruddc code.
Good afternoon, good people. You're watching the Bruddc and Kitty show. I am joined with the lovely Kitty. Kitty, how are you today?
I'm all right. I'm a bit pissed off, but nothing new. No.
Kitty is a bit peed off. What's going on? Who's rattled? Who's took the jam out of your donut then today?
NHS.
NHS. Oh, good God.
My mum is currently on HDU, high dependency. She had a 6-hour operation, flatlined, did everything right. And she's been there, and she's got an infection.
Mm-hmm.
And what they said was, we're going to move you to a ward on another hospital where they can care for you properly. Because here on the HDU, we deal with emergency and this, that, and the other.
Yep.
24 hours later, she's still not been moved. And I'm furious. I'm furious because doctors are coming in saying one thing. Nurses are coming in saying another thing. Nobody's telling the right hand and the left hand what to do because this is such a busy ward. Meanwhile, mum's got an infection. Now, that wouldn't worry me had my dad not died of a heart attack due to septicemia.
Wow.
And I'm, I'm all...
and unfortunately, like most of the people that I know that go to hospital, normally it's not the operation that gets them, it is the infection. 9 times out of 10, it's like literally the infection that gets them afterwards. Very frustrating. I don't know if you saw today, I think it's a 90-year-old veteran died in the hallways, and
it doesn't surprise me. I will say this: the NHS are literally pulled to their limits. They are literally working with what they've got. I'm not sort of slagging off the people. I'm slagging off the system, and the system is absolutely diabolical. When I had Charlie, I got septicemia. I got necrosis in the C-section wound. So I know it happened. Like you say, it's not usually the operation, it's usually the infection afterwards.
Yeah.
Totally. But when it's your mum, and I told you about the other day where the doctor come in and made her feel absolutely awful.
Yeah.
The smell, and it made my mum really...
Oh, was it a doctor, was it? I thought it was like a nurse or something.
No, it was a doctor. And my mum being my mum, she said she was a little Chinese lady. So my mum's like, oh, where you from? My mum's like getting all excited. Maybe it might be family. And she's like, oh, little Chinese woman. And she said, at first I thought she was a nurse. She says, and then she ran out the room going, like this. And then she was talking to the nurse and she said, oh, no, she's a doctor.
Wow.
So I wasn't very pleased at that, making my mum feel terrible about that. And then the woman came back to get some bloods from her because they have to take her bloods sort of every day. And she made a right pig's ear of that as well.
Wow.
So we need to find out whether she's a trainee doctor, because I don't know whether everyone's the same, but our hospital is a university hospital, which means that
students and stuff, or
a lot of students coming through. So, push comes to shove, I shall be ringing a certain Professor Hung, and I shall be saying, oi, get that sorted down there because your Auntie Paula needs it.
Yeah. Mr. Spoon, good afternoon to you, sir. Guys, if you're wondering what this is behind me, guys, I've got a horrible bad neck pain, and this is some massager thing I got from the TikTok shop. I should really put it in my shop so you lot could go in there and buy some shit from there. But anyhow, today, guys, what are we talking? dysfunctional relationships. What are women doing to themselves? Like, what are they doing? What
Um,
are they putting themselves in these situations for? Why are they ignoring the red flags after red flags? I'll start with a quick sad story, guys. Like, young girl that I interviewed a few years ago. Like, I knew she needed help, and I was trying to help her. I tried my best to help her, and for whatever reason, she found this guy, and the worst of the worst has happened, and literally not only destroyed her life, has destroyed her young daughter's life. um just terrible, like, the worst things imaginable you can imagine. She's got a horrible court case now, and I think to myself, I always feel bad, because I don't know if it's just me, but when people tell me stories, I do take it on a little bit. It does sort of sit on my chest a little bit, and I do try and help. I know there's only so much I can do as a person. Like, I mean, I can't, I can't help everyone. Like, I can give my time. I'll always give my time if I can, but it's difficult.
what you feel is human.
Mm,
What you're feeling is human. It's entirely human. I've been in the same situation where I've had friends that are in relationships that are so toxic. And I've got to the point now at 53 years old where what I've decided to do is the only thing you can do, which is sit back, watch it, never isolate them, never ever go, well, I'm done with you then if you go back to him. Never do that, because if you're with one of those kind of guys or partners, that's what they want. They want them isolated. So to just sit back, and when they need you, be straight there. And that is the only human thing you can do, because if you take it on like you have, or you will do, sometimes it will tear you down. It will drain you as well.
yeah,
Advice to anybody that is watching somebody go through a relationship like this is, in no way, shape, or form isolate them, make them feel isolated, like they can't come to you. That includes not rolling your eyes when he's done it again or she's done it again, or saying, oh, I wipe my hands of you because you won't listen. Please don't do that, because that is playing into a narcissistic or an evil person's plan. They want them so that they have got no one to turn to, and the only person they can turn to is them.
yeah.
How do I know? Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, signed up to the club several times.
And I bet no one could have told you anything at that time as well. No one could have told you anything. So this is the problem. Like, when we talk about these things, like, until you're actually, when people are actually in those situations, it's just like, they can't get out of it for whatever reason. They don't want to. They don't want to look bad amongst the family. They don't want to feel like they've been let down, or they've, they don't want to feel like their time was wasted and stuff. There's so many bits that go into it, but ultimately now, like, I don't know if you saw today that guy that got jailed for killing his ex-girlfriend, burning the house down with the three children in it. Like, she
That's down the road from me.
really. Oh,
Yeah,
good god, good god.
it's right near where Chloe lives.
Wow,
Yeah, that is on our doorstep.
wow. Two, like, literally his girlfriend broke up with him, and he literally went round there with his friend and burnt the house down with the kids in it. Like,
Mhm.
this is the problem with some of these men you ladies are choosing with. You really need to vet these men seriously. Like, it's
I will,
not good. It's
I will
really
say
not
this
good.
to the ladies, right, or to the men. There's a thing called Clare's Law. Clare's Law. Please remember this. Clare's Law. You can go to the police and ask if there is any domestic violence in their past. They can't tell you anything else, but they can tell you about domestic violence. What I do know from personal experience is, if there is anything to do with children, they won't tell you through Clare's Law, but you'll probably have a social worker ring you or turn up at your door and say, listen, he's got to go. And that is from personal experience. That's what happened. Um, one of my friends was seeing this guy, and they literally turned up at her door and said, we need you to stop seeing him, otherwise we're going to have to go for custody of the children. If you
Yeah,
choose him, we're going for custody of the children, because he is a danger. So the police are there to be used. Don't think by getting social services involved that you are going to get into trouble. they're going to give you that option to walk away. And that sometimes, I'll be quite honest with you, sometimes that is the button that needs to be pressed in a woman, because a lot of women will go above hell and high water to protect their children.
You'd
And
hope so. You'd hope so, but unfortunately, there are women that will be faced with that ultimatum. Like, a guy's been known for violence, and social services will say, "Look, you either get rid of this guy, or we've got to take your kid off you." So many women will choose the guy,
the rumors on the street are one of the killers of Jamie Bulger, alleged,
Yes,
is married with a child, and she knows everything. Social services are involved completely, but at that point, she must have married him knowing who he was. Do you not?
that's insane. I mean, some women are crazy. Honestly, some women are crazy. You think to yourself, why would you even give your time to that? I feel like women now have got to start got to start having different sort of requirements rather than 6 foot tall and all the rest of it muscular. And, I think we need to start going for totally different things like intellectual, family values, more important things rather than sort of, just fringe things like the way someone looks, their physique, and I feel like and the bad boy, we've really got to teach women to stay away from the bad boys, and
This
it's laughed at, women will laugh at, oh, I love a bad boy. I'm like, yeah, you got 3 kids with 3 different men, and you've been in hospital, you've been battered, yeah, I love it, and they sort of promote this kind of behavior.
there's pages on Facebook. Are we dating the same guy? And these
Mm.
pages are literally full of stay away from this man because he does this, and that. And then you'll see the girlfriend underneath. Well, he's never done that to me yet. But I will say that there are some women on there that also put.
Yeah, I bet. As soon as you said that, like my back went up a little bit, because there are women out there that will freaking sort of try and stick the knife in on someone, an ex partner, and there there's really sad stories of women making accusations against men and stuff. There was
Yeah,
I saw a video today actually, and some woman was saying that you shouldn't listen. We shouldn't worry about the women that do lie because it's a small percentage, and most of the time it's literally she was going on hard like that. She was like, most of the time it's true. If women make an accusation, why would women lie? Most women don't lie. Good afternoon, good Donna. How are you?
that is a woman that has never had any experience with domestic violence. I can tell you now, that can only be a woman that has never ever had any family member, any friend that has been affected by domestic, or she doesn't know that they're affected by domestic violence.
Yeah,
It's been a secret, because anybody that has been in the sphere of domestic violence knows how damaging it is. Knows, and for women to lie about it is the reason that a lot of women stay quiet and don't leave, because they think they won't be believed. Again, like the grape situation, when people are lying about grape, or using grape as
yeah.
a thing of revenge, it just it
Yeah.
just
It reminds me of mine and Donna's conversation actually that we had, and we were talking about people in relationships, and sometimes in relationships like the women aren't so much up for it some nights, and then the guy will be like, oh, come on, and the woman will say, all right, just hurry up, you got 10 minutes, and in this day and age that would be looked at as if this day and age, these sort of children, to these millennial sort of children, if she says that to her friend, no, I didn't fancy it, and John, he just I don't know where to stand with it, but do you know people in relationships long term understand.
that's considered coercion. I'll put money, if we went legally, we'd find out that's called coercion now.
Mm,
Back in my day, that was, oh, just hurry up. Don't
yeah.
wait doing it. If I've got to put a
It's a famous line from Sex in the City, I believe. Just do what you want, just don't wake me up.
yeah. I, I always remember a friend telling me how she went to Disneyland, and they did the whole Disney thing, and she was lying in bed that night, and he started to get a bit frisky, and she says, I just remember the line, "This kingdom ain't that magical. Get your hands off me." And that is, you know, and I said, in the end, did you do it? She went, no, I was absolutely shattered. I'd been up since 6 a.m. It was now like midnight. We'd just watched fireworks. There was no fireworks happening that night.
Yeah.
She said, I just said it. And to this day, I always remember, this kingdom ain't that magical. Get your hands off me. And it makes me giggle to this day, because it's just something that, like you say, it's a line that would probably be in Sex and the City or something.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there are men that think it is their right and will
Yeah.
push.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely there's a line. There's definitely a line with it. I get the relationship dynamic, but there's definitely a line, like Mason Greenwood style. There's definitely a line, like, you know.
Yeah, you know, I go back to the P Diddy thing. One of the jurors, juror number 70, thinks that Cassie and P Diddy were a love story. Now, I don't know how many love stories you've heard, but an 18-year-old girl getting with an over 30-year-old millionaire, and he's then like grooming her in a way to this fine lifestyle. But if you want this fine lifestyle, this is what you've got to do. And when she tries to get away, he drags her back by her hair and punches her in the face, and doesn't let her go. And that's the only one we've seen on film, so we don't know whether there's more. That to me is a love story. That's not a love story. That's somebody who, it's trauma bonding.
Yeah.
That's trauma bonding to me. There's a difference. Unfortunately, in 2025, the word trauma bond, narcissist,
Gaslighting.
gaslighting are thrown around like confetti. And I can only say, if you have experienced a real narcissistic person, borderline sociopath, you don't call them that. You call them evil.
Yeah.
They are evil. I have never labelled any of my exes as narcissistic or whatever. I have always said they were evil.
Yeah.
I don't throw that word around.
Do you know what? Often when I hear about some women, like the way it's pushed around on social media, the way you're talking, when women are talking about, you know, narcissistic men and all the rest of it, and then like you actually listen to what they're actually saying, and they're actually the narcissist. Like, you know,
Yes.
what is a narcissist? Everything evolves around me. The sun shines out my arse. I don't care about anyone else. It's just me, me, me. I think nowadays it's more women with that sort of
Narcissistic people will always be the victim. There's your clue number one. Narcissists are always the victim. So if she's going, oh, he's a narcissist and he did this to me, she's a victim.
Mm.
Victim. She's making herself a victim, and she's telling everybody she's a victim. Most of the time, real victims don't really talk about it.
No.
I talk about it a little bit, but have I ever really? I've never really told you the whole story, have I? I've never really sat down with you and said,
No, no. I think with your story, you know, as unique as every story is to everyone, I can kind of put bits together and kind of see where you were and where you went, you know, and just
stop you there, because my dog's decided she's a Rottweiler.
no worries, no worries.
Doors XL bully.
Happens sometimes. What do we think, guys? What do we think? Who's more of a narcissist in this day and age? Is it men or is it women? What are we thinking, guys? A or B, men or women? Because honestly, the traits both. Okay, Donna, but Donna's being a politician. Um, the traits that you hear from that I mean, if you Google narcissist and you look at the traits of a narcissist, like, you know, I think it does describe, like, you know, this woman was saying this. I heard this woman on a rant on social media, and she was like, "Oh, well, I was with this guy, and he kept trying to control me and asking me where I was going, telling me to sort of like not wear my mini skirts and stuff like this." And I was like, that sounds like a caring man, but in this day and age, this guy's a narcissist, like, you know.
Yeah, there is a fine line between controlling and caring. I think it comes with an explanation. I think if it's caring, it comes with an explanation. Babe, don't wear that skirt, because you know what? You're probably going to walk home on your own, and that's asking for trouble. If somebody said that to me like that, I'd go, maybe you're right. if he said, "Don't wear that mini skirt because it looks too short and you're going to be showing your bits and blah," I think it's there's a difference in the delivery for me.
Yeah.
If that's the difference between controlling and caring, it's the delivery and maybe the explanation.
Yeah.
But I go back to what you're saying about my story. I've never really told my story because I'll be quite honest with you, I'm quite ashamed of it. I am really ashamed of it. That
Go on, explain. What are you ashamed of?
I, a 53-year-old woman, the Duchess, Lady Kitty, allowed these men to literally manipulate me, financially abuse me physically, abuse me mentally. And here I am now sitting here telling people what to do with their lives. I'm quite embarrassed about it. I'm quite embarrassed that these horrible men that I now look at and go, oh God, what was I doing? I allowed them to do that to me.
Yeah.
I'm the Duchess, the First Lady of Forest.
Yeah.
Dare you do that to me? And I can say that now.
Yeah.
But back then, I was allowing it, and I was allowing these men to do this. Admittedly, once I had children, I tried to vet.
You got stronger. You would say.
I got, obviously my first concern was always going to be my children, and I only let one man around my children. And unfortunately, that was the wrong one as well.
Mm.
I think it's, I'm embarrassed the fact that my taste in men is like self-harm.
Yeah, and this is what we have to get into women's heads, and especially the younger children, like, younger children today seeing things on TV and thinking that it's normal to let guys degrade you for their pleasure and stuff, and even showing young boys, 18-year-old boys, that are going to be out here doing the bits and stuff, with that sort of mindset. This is what I need to be doing to controlling. You got the red pill community telling them certain things, edging them on, loads of women, and it doesn't help. And what always gets me sometimes is like when I hear women, I speak to them. I spoke to loads of women, different stories when they sort of done things that that they didn't even want to do, didn't get anything from it. Courtney and Donna, if you guys want to come up, let me know. We'll move over to TikTok if you want to come up.
The point being that these men are conditioned that that's how you show love. So they've seen that behavior. They've seen and they've witnessed that behavior. So it goes back to them actually seeing that that's what you do. They're also being told that they're failures at every point in their lives just lately. They're being told that if they don't make all these millions, failure. If you've only got a job, failure. If you haven't got a house, failure. And then they haven't got hundreds of women and babies everywhere that they can pay for. Failure. So we're telling our younger generation that they're failures for what is just normal life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good, because then what happens is they get frustrated and they get angry, and then she's going off in his ear.
Yeah. And they're craving power. This is one of the biggest things for men in this day and age. They are feeling powerless. And so what they do is, to get that power back, to get that control back, they'll start manipulating. They'll start doing things that they shouldn't do.
Okay.
And then and it might even become a bad situation, like an adolescent sort of situation, where boys are starting to attack young ladies, like the way we glorify serial killers and attackers and stuff like that on the social media is terrible as well.
Do you know, it's like, I've got a friend, and I think he's in Belmarsh at the moment. He gets like loads of love letters from women.
Oh yeah, Ted Bundy, very famous for that.
I'm like, what? This man's scary. I mean, he's scary.
Yeah, during the court case for Ted Bundy, even though he was known for, tying women up, bashing heads, and doing all sorts of madness to them, there were women turning up at the court and throwing panties at him and all sorts of bits like that. What does that say about women? What's that say about women?
I don't know.
Because that's a bad example. That's a really extreme case. I'm sure it doesn't happen all the time, but
it does.
No, yeah, 1 second, because there's this creator. He's part of the red pill community as well, No, actually, it's actually Fuentes that actually said it. Actually, and I know you've probably seen it. He said that women are craving to be dominated, and 50 Shades of Grey kind of stuff, spanked. There's this guy Jax that's very famous on Instagram, and he talks about his whole thing is like being dominant to women and degrading them, and you know apparently they love it. That's what's being pushed out.
I'm going to explain what a dominant man is to me, right? Bearing in mind that that is my thing, right? A dominant man is a man that I'm allowed to literally just let go in front of, right? So I am in control of my life every day. I run businesses as such. I have a daughter with this who's disabled. I got a sick mum. I've got this, I've got that. I am in control of all of that. But a dominant man to me is a man that I can literally just go in his arms. I know he's safe and he's got it at that moment. I've got this, babe. Don't worry. And I feel safe in his, and I can give my submission to him and know that I am safe. To me, dominance isn't do this. You will do this because I am the breadwinner in this house. That is not dominance. That is ignorance.
That's obedience. That's obedience. Like
Yes.
you're being obedient, and you see that. Like Myron, he talked. He talked about having this girlfriend for a very long time, and the way he spoke about her was like she was like a servant. Like she was doing jobs and chores. Lo and behold, it didn't work, and he said that he chose his career over her in the end. But it was ultimately, women are putting up with certain things from certain status types of men, but it will never last for long because the woman will eventually say, "What am I doing? Am I a servant over here? I want to be an equal in this relationship." And the moment you start accepting the royalties, like and you start, behaving yourself and being a maid almost, like I feel like it's just downhill from there, and then the demands get worse and worse and worse. You start getting treated worse and worse and worse as well. So I actually have to go. Hope, yeah, no worries, Courtney. You have a good one.
Difference between submission and obedience. Obedience is forced on you. Submission is given.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So obviously this is an area that I can talk about from a personal point of view. I give a submission. I do not give obedience. Believe me, there is no obedience in this woman at all now. That said, 30 years ago,
Yeah.
I was completely obedient.
Yeah.
And I often think to myself, so why have I chosen to be submissive now when I was obedient before? And the difference is it's my choice to give my submission because I feel safe and trust that dominant man. That is the difference. And a lot of women don't understand that. They think obedience is submission, and they've got this dominant man and he looks after me and he gives me all of my money and lets me go shopping. But every so often I just have to hold one.
Yeah.
And that's not it, babe. That's not it.
Yeah.
I tell you from personal, that is not it. I listened to recently Daphne Joy. Do you know who Daphne Joy is?
Is she a writer? Is she?
No, she is 50 Cent's baby mama.
Okay.
And then moved on to P. Diddy. I've gone down this rabbit hole.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And she moved on to P. Diddy. She signed a love contract with P. Diddy for 2 years that he will pay her $10,000 every month.
Right.
Right. So she was like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. We go on the freak offs. I'll get you women, blah, blah, blah. This is why 50 Cent was calling her a SW.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What she did then was, while he was in court, she switched sides and she said, no, he was coercing me. Now this is the bad example. This is the bad example. He was coercing me, and he was just paying me $10,000, and I took it because I was scared of him. No, darling, you took the $10,000 because you were contractually about. and you are still taking the $10,000 because he's still paying it because it doesn't run out till 2026.
Mm.
That's the bad example. But she then played uh, a message from him. She played a message, and it's all over the internet. And he's basically saying, "You don't get to walk away from me. I own you. That $10,000 is my payment to you. You belong to me. You don't get to say when we're done. I get to say when we're done."
Yeah.
This is what these young guys are listening to. But
Yeah.
you haven't got P. Diddy money. You
Yeah.
ain't bad boy for life.
Yeah, and that's what frustrates the hell out of people. Curry Muncher, shout out to you, sir. That's what frustrates a lot out of men that are listening to the manosphere sort of space, and looking around feeling worthless. Like, that's the kind of thing. And then if they can't get it by means, then what they will normally do is go out and force their way into the sort of, like, start doing bad things to maybe more susceptible young ladies and stuff. And yeah,
I recognise patterns now, and it's really weird because I was on my live the other night, and a guy come on and he went, "You're really ugly, aren't you?" I thought, "Oh, not that one guy." And he went, "Yeah, quite big as well, aren't you?" And he started like really listing all these bad things about me, and I thought, "Oh, I can't be bothered with you. Shut up." And then he went, "Actually, you look all right. Actually, would you go out on a date with me? Because you're really quite good looking." And I thought, "Ooh, I've just clocked your pattern. You make women feel absolute like shit." And then you go, "No, not really. Quite sexy. Fancy dinner."
Yeah.
And it's manipulative. And I blocked him straight away, like that. Boom, gone. And as soon as he went nice on me, would you believe? That's when I blocked him, because I could see the manipulation. So now I can spot manipulation like miles away.
Yeah, that's where some men are at the minute. Some men are at a point where they're very lonely, and they literally just doom scroll through TikTok and social media to find women that are live most of the time, and they'll either start with a nice message. Should you ignore their message or you don't see their message, they tend to get a little bit a bit nasty.
Those ones don't worry me. Those ones don't worry me. I don't worry about them. It's them.
Ruby Wax. Does she look like Ruby Wax? Who's Ruby Wax? I know Ruby Wax, but I can't remember exactly what she
She's
looks like.
the comedian that's just been on I'm a Celebrity. She's full of Botox and fillers. So thank you, guys.
That's the Curry Muncher. He said it used to be Malcolm, so I don't think it's one of your people. Kitty, do you want to do the last 20 minutes on
Let's
TikTok?
go.
Come over to TikTok. Guys, social media, come over to TikTok. Bruddc Entertainment.